Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 4, Episode 128. And it is still early morning, 6:30 in the morning, and just heading out for the day. Today is going to be one of my longer days. Going to try to get at least 3 blackjack sessions in, get some slot stuff in as well, and try to make a big score today to round out the week. Right now it is 58 degrees outside. The high for the day is expected to be 65, so we're almost there already. There are storms all around me, and there will be storms a lot of the day today where I'm going as well. So, hopefully safety is key. Hopefully it's not too bad today. Got up this morning and went to my car, and my son has completely cleaned out my car. So I don't really like that because it has all my gambling stuff in there, and I don't really like people seeing all that stuff, especially one of my kids who I tell gambling is stupid and don't gamble and things like that. But he's a smart kid, so the car is completely cleaned out, like nothing in it at all that is dust or dirt or anything like that. The seats, the floor, everything looks like it's brand new. So anyway, as far as work is concerned, I did a lot of work last night. I was on my work computer till about 1 a.m. making sure that everything was taken care of, caught up, all that kind of stuff. And still kind of having a pain with some of these European guys all day and night, asking me questions, asking me to run scans, things like that. But all that stuff is caught up. Today I have a team meeting at 10 a.m. and other than that, pretty much free the rest of the day. Just got to keep the computer alive, looking like we're working at our desk. So all that is good. This week, a lot of driving, obviously. We're over 1,500 miles for the week already, and that's considering we flew thousands of miles. So I imagine if we had driven all that, how much more that would be. But we're still going to be over 2,000 miles for the week, which is pretty much an average for me. Even though we did, like I said, take those flights to that area. Right now, we are heading out to our first casino of the day, and it's a long drive to get there. So, gonna settle in, get my work computer on, get things going here for the day, and I'll come back to update you. All right, guys. As I am getting close to my first spot, I decided to check on the progress of the podcast being uploaded to YouTube, and I saw last night that all of it was uploaded and it just needed to go public. So I clicked public for it and woke up this morning and there's only one episode public. Now, when you have a podcast with 787 episodes or so, you don't want to have to go in one at a time and make them public. There was a reason why we waited for the feed to finish before making it public. And maybe I should have done it before. The directions in YouTube said to wait. So now it looks like I have to manually make each episode public. So I just made season 4 public manually, one at a time, but I can only do so much, so if I remember to, I'll try to make more of them available tonight. I'm just going backwards, episode by episode. I have to click on the episode, click edit, click on private, change it to public, go back, click on save, go back to the list, make sure it worked, go to the next one. So it's a little bit annoying, but we'll do what we have to do, I guess. And I don't expect any views on it either, because people are going to be looking at the newer stuff, and 99% of what I have is on Spotify and Apple. So I don't know. I'm doing YouTube, but I don't know how to do the tags and all that kind of stuff to get more people, which is okay. I'm not trying to get rich off it or anything. I'm not monetized or anything, but it would be nice if it was a little bit easier to do it. So anyway, continuing on here to our first casino. Should be there in about 5 minutes, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back and just heading back to the car. Pretty quiet in there, not much going on, and somebody else was also in there at the same time. So didn't really have much of an opportunity. I found one play and I played that one through and only made $30 on that one, so plus $30, and that was it. And I looked at everything, and timing wise here, we're in really good shape. We are going to be moving on to the next city and should be there by the time our meeting starts, which is perfect. Usually I'm stopping between these two cities if I have a meeting in the morning, so that will be good. I'll be in the parking lot of my next casino when the meeting starts. No chance of getting in there before that. I mean, it's going to be pretty tight within a minute or two, and we'll do that with the team, and then hopefully nice, you know what, actually I'm not going to go to that one. I'm going to go to a different one. We should get there on time, and we'll look at slots first and then go back to the other one. That'll give me one more look at something before playing blackjack, because blackjack would not be open at the casino I'm looking for, so, or my main casino. So we're going to be a little bit early for blackjack. No, actually the meeting's an hour long. We'll go ahead and just go as scheduled here to the next casino, play some blackjack after our team meeting, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, heading back to my car. Right now it's still pretty early. Had a couple of quick sessions in there, went pretty well, and just left when the table conditions changed. Too many people both times. And so first one, I sat at this table, won the first couple hands, then it evened out, back and forth, back and forth. Not a lot of ups and downs, just, I win a few, they win a few, and that one, went pretty quick actually. And then, like I said, when the table conditions were no longer good, I ended up leaving that table, and I was ahead $525 after about 20 minutes. And then then I moved on, looked at slots, only found one small play, and I played that one through, and I ended the session ahead like $17 on slots. And then I looked around at blackjack again. The area I wanted is not open yet. I mean, I don't know what the heck is taking so long, but I figure I could make some money elsewhere and come back if I have time. So I did find another blackjack table. There were two guys sitting at the table, and it was a low limit table. They hit 17, but it was a 6 deck, really good penetration. And so I sat down. I was waiting for the shoe to end. One guy left, and so it took a little longer for the other guy to finish up the shoe, and he busted out on the last hand of the shoe. So the cut card had already come out, and he busted out, and I'm like, perfect, thank you for the gift. So I sit down, start playing, and it's going pretty well, up and down, but mostly in the right direction. And I ended up leaving when two people came to the table, and I had a negative count, ahead $275. So 2 sessions of blackjack plus 525 plus 275. One session, played one slot, and ended that session ahead $17. And that's it for that spot. So we're going to move on. Like I said, there's some tables just opening up. Actually, if I leave for a little while and I have time to come back, I'll be able to play 2 different areas maybe actually more than that, because there was a shift change starting as well. So a lot of good stuff, good potential over there, and we're going to see what happens. But right now we're going to move on to another casino and try to keep the train going here. I don't know if you saw, there was a bill introduced to Congress to rename the DC Metro the Trump train. It's like, wow. So anyway, I don't know if I'm for or against it. I don't care either way, just like I don't care about any other airport names. If it's a Republican or a Democrat, it's an airport. So but we are moving on to another casino, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back, and it was okay, not good. Waited for blackjack to open up forever at this place. Should have just stayed where I was before. I ended up just playing a couple slots, walking around a lot, checking a lot of useless stuff, and just a little frustrating. I wanted to use my time a little bit better than that and make a little bit more money today. But here we are. So I ended my session ahead 73 on slots, and tables are still not open. And we're moving on. We're going to go play some blackjack and hopefully have some good variance. I'm looking for a $2,000 win here. Just been a little bit frustrated the last few days. Haven't been able to get my bets out there. Haven't been able to play. And when I did travel, I didn't get a lot of blackjack in just because the situation wasn't good. So I was either at a small place that didn't have blackjack, or a small place that had no tolerance, or I was at the place that I was targeting and I didn't want to get backed off before I got my free play. So, you know, all those different situations going on. But we're going to move on. We're going to play some blackjack, and I'll be back with some good news for you. All right, guys, that was hilarious on the way out there. I really, it wasn't hilarious while I was in there because it was so hard to find a table to play and to find good conditions. But I did end up playing some blackjack. No slots were in range at all, so couldn't do that. Couldn't make any money off that. But I was in there over an hour, looking around at everything, man. I was trying everything. I even talked to a friend for a while. This guy actually is another friend that I used to have a nickname for that I don't have a nickname for anymore because now we're buddies. So I guess you are who you hang around, right? So I must be one of these guys now. So anyway, I ended up playing one blackjack table, and I had the table to myself most of the time. Was on it for about 40 minutes or so. Just doing, and you know, I was doing like a 1 to 8 spread, but I really never got it up that high. Maybe I got it to 4x, but really couldn't get it that high just because the counts weren't there. But I had some decent variance. Let me see here my notes. I think I know the number, but my notes say plus 425. So plus 425 there. I was not able to find any slots. Saw a lot of people checking stuff. Also, they're revamping the place, so a lot of stuff is not available. A lot of machines are shut down and stuff like that. So that's, you know, that's a problem too. So you got less machines and you got more people looking at them. But yeah, overall it was okay. I was going to go to this one area and try to play there. It was a low limit table, like a 25 to 2500 or something like that. And there was a guy on the table with 12,000 in front of him, so I didn't really feel like bringing that attention to myself being on the table with him. And then the pit boss said, "Oh, we got this other table over here that's available," but it was halfway through the shoe, and I don't want to do that either. So overall, okay so far. Feeling like I'm missing out on making a lot of money today because there seems to be a lot of opportunity, but it keeps closing up on me. So right now we're going to move on to another place, and I'll be back to update you soon. Oh, I want to tell you a story too. So I get in the elevator, and 2 Indian guys and 2 Arabic guys get into the elevator. And the 2 Arabic guys are talking about the 2 Indian guys, pointing at them, and the 2 Indian guys talking about the 2 Arabic guys, pointing at them. and then they all leave on the same floor, and they're all talking to each other at the same time, pointing at each other. So it was kind of interesting. So anyway, it was funnier if you were there, I guess. Maybe I'm not a good storyteller, but anyway, I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So I go into this place, and it's getting a little bit busy. It's Friday afternoon. Amazingly, the other places really were not very busy. So I don't know if this is travel season and everyone's out of town or what the deal is, but it's been pretty light today. And also, like, the one place was doing updates. They had a bunch of things shut down, and they are not very good business people. They are updating some things on the floor. They have hundreds of machines turned off, and all they got to do is hire more people to do the work and get it done in 24 or 48 hours. The last time they did this, it was like 2 to 3 weeks of all those machines shut down, all that money not coming in. I can't understand it, but what do I know? Anyway, this place is upgrading their security system. So now they're putting in those new metal detectors that have the cameras built into them. So I'm sure those will be turned on soon. So, making it harder and harder for us, but we survive. So we're going to continue to survive. So I go in, I'm looking around, and can't find anything here, can't find anything there, and honestly only ended up finding one machine. And it was interesting because I walked by this machine, and these guys were sitting on it, and they had just hit for something, I think like $9 or something like that, and they were just sitting there, and I'm like, wait a minute, there might actually be getting up. So I patiently stood behind them, and they talked for a minute, and I'm standing there, and then they got up and walked away, and I'm like, are you kidding me? So this is a special situation where it was going to pay something the next few spins. So I sat down. I had a voucher for $9 in there, and boom, 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 hit, and walked away. I had $65 for the session, and that was really the only thing that I played. Okay. So I guess it was the second thing that I played. I played one thing and lost like 40 cents. But I only played two things, and I wish there was more. There was a lot of borderline stuff that I wasn't going to even try, and so we did what we could do. But man, it just doesn't feel like, doesn't feel good today, even though we did well. It feels like we left a lot of money on the table. I feel like I got forced off a lot of tables that, when you're playing high limit, that doesn't happen. But I've been playing low limit lately, and it's been good for me, and I felt good. I've had more play time, but I really do prefer the high limit and having the table all to myself for an hour and a half, whatever it might be, and be able to make the money that I want to make. I just a lot more comfortable without people coming in and out. And there's a lot less attention too. Once you're at a table and you buy in for a minimal amount, if you're not buying in for more, they're not stressed. I bought in for 10 units. They're not worried about a guy with 10 units. Now when the count's going up, I'm going to raise and raise and raise. And if I run out of money, I can always rebuy and look like I'm chasing. But so I do prefer high limit, but right now we're sticking with a low limit and see what happens. So right now it is absolutely gorgeous outside. Just a few clouds, far away fluffy clouds in the sky. A nice beautiful blue sky. 75 degrees where I am right now, so you can't complain about any of that. So right now we're going to continue our trip, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, let's talk for a little bit here. A couple things I want to talk about. Number one, I want to talk about my kids for a minute. What's your opinion here? The last million vacations, 5 vacations or so, they argue, they disagree, they yell at each other, they call each other names. That's not who we raised. That's not what we want. So we've been threatening for a long time, no more vacations. Finally, we decided after the trip to the Grand Canyon, which was okay but not great as far as the fighting and all that. It was better, I have to admit, but not great. We decided no more vacations for the kids. So this summer, my wife and I are going to go on that cruise: Dominican Republic, St. Thomas, British Virgin Islands, Tortola, and Bahamas. And we're not taking them. They're going to stay home, and their grandma's going to be there, their aunts and uncles are going to be there, and basically they're going to have to take care of themselves while we're gone, but no vacation for them. Am I being too harsh? And should I give them another chance? Should I only take some of them? Because if I only take one or two, they don't fight. If I take the whole lot, then they fight. So I can't just take the girls or the boys or what. It doesn't matter. They're all going to fight if they're all together. If I take any two, maybe any three, probably any two, there's not going to be any fighting. So I'm trying to figure out, what do I do? I was thinking, so July I'm going to that trip. August I'm going to be in Vegas, and then they have school starting. What I could do is set up a vacation maybe to Florida or somewhere like that at the end of August, which I guess could be hurricane season too, but middle of August, something like that, and do that. I'm not really sure. So give me your feedback and tell me what you think about that. Another thing I want to talk about is my friend Mike. So my friend Mike, I took him out to Vegas about 2.5 years ago because he couldn't take care of himself anymore. His brother started taking care of him. His brother couldn't handle him anymore. He put him in a home. Well, he is sane, so he just took back his power of attorney and wants to come home. Now, he wants his sister, he wants to live with his sister. But from talking to his sister, she is impossible to get along with. I don't see how he could do it. Plus, she thinks that he's only going to be there a few days, when it's probably going to be at least a year before he finds a place. And on top of that, he can't have his Social Security because he was a gambler and he never paid taxes on all the W-2s he got in his life. So Social Security said, we're not giving you any more money. They gave it to his brother because his brother was managing it. He had to go through a process to prove that he was safe to give it to and he wasn't going to waste it and all that stuff. And in Nevada, basically, he's able to get free medical treatment and the nursing home and everything, and there's still a little bit of his Social Security check left. So if he needs clothes, groceries, whatever, he has a little bit of money that he can do something like that. If he comes back here, he's not going to have any of that. He's going to be stuck with his sister. He doesn't have a real ID to fly, but he says he does, and I keep telling him he doesn't, and he's like, I'm telling you I do. You need to just book the flight. His sister doesn't want him for more than a couple days. It's going to be a year. He's not going to have his Social Security, but he insists that he is, but he doesn't know. He can't drive anymore because his eyes are that bad, and he doesn't have a doctor in this area, so his sister's going to have to set up doctors for him. But to do all that stuff for him, and Social Security and all that, he's going to have to trust someone else with his power of attorney. But his brother was way better than his sister. So I'm going to talk to his sister in about an hour as I'm continuing my trip here. And I am going to tell her, hey, here's a list of things you need to do. I'm ready to bring him back, but you got to get these things done. And hopefully it discourages her enough that she won't do them. And then if he tries to just get out of the place, he can get out, but he's not going to be able to go anywhere. He'll have to go right back to the place. So that's the only thing that I could see that would work. So give me your feedback on that as well. So right now, we're going to continue our trip toward home, and we could do our segments. What did you eat today, MW? Well, today, actually, I haven't really had much food. I had some vegetables that I got at a grocery store and a candy bar, like a Payday, mainly peanuts. It's got sugar in it, but it's only like 300 calories, so not a lot of calories, not a lot of food, so I can't even rate it on a scale of 2 through 8 like I normally would, but tonight I think I'm going to have a nice steak. I think that would be really good, really tasty. So I'm actually going to call my wife and tell her to get one ready for me for tonight. She is going to drop off one of my girls at a softball game. I'm going to go watch the game and then pick her up and take her home. And what did you tip today, MW? Well, I played 3 sessions of blackjack, and if I remember right, the first session I made like $525, and I tipped that dealer $0. The second one, though, I made $275, and on that one I tipped $0. And then on the third one, plus $425, and that one I tipped $0. So a total of $0 in tips. So yeah, it's a nice day now. It's going to be actually okay to watch that softball game, relax a little bit, and then we'll head home. And tomorrow will be family day, and then we'll be right back at it Sunday with a long overnight. Today we're already at 10,000 steps, and it's still only 4 p.m. right now. So I've got many hours of driving to do. I just got fuel a little bit ago, and we're going to continue our trip home, and I'll catch up with you guys on Sunday. Let me know what you think about those things that I just talked to you about. I want to hear your feedback. And if you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.